Hello, everyone. This is Kathy, and I'm here with number 85 of the 100-Day Challenge. And today, I'm going to be showing you how to make this pen. I originally saw it in Tim Holtz's book, which is an older one. I have junk in it. It's called Distressibles 2. And I'm doing it quite differently than him. And I also saw it on Luise Heinzl's channel. I'm also doing it a bit differently than she did. I just found an easier way to do it, and it still works for me. And okay, so I'll show you what I used and how I'm going to do it. First of all, you're going to need a cheap pen. This is an old Bic pen. We got them at the dollar store. You get about 10 in a pack or 8 in a pack. And you want to be able to take off the lid, and you don't need that. You can use it just like this. Next thing I'm going to be using is some thick craft board. Now, if you don't have thick craft board, you can use thinner board, but you're going to have to use layers. So I decided to use this. And what I'm going to do, and I've already done one, is I'm going to make 4 cuts at 3/4 of an inch per cut. So let's see. So the next cut. And the reason, let me tell you why I'm doing 3/4 of an inch. I will be using these, they're almost like Scrabble tiles. I got them off of Amazon. And these tiles will just fit on a 3/4 inch piece, which is what I used here. These are Scrabble tiles, and they fit right along the edge. So that's why I'm doing 3/4 of an inch. So you decide how thick you want yours to be. Let's say you're not using Scrabble tiles, but instead you're going to use paper cut out with letters on it, or papers cut out with images on it. It doesn't have to be letters. Whatever width those are is the width that you want to make your pieces. Okay? So let me continue to make another cut, and I'm using, this is kind of my cutter that I use for stuff like this. And let's see. I'm going to use 3/4 of an inch again. And I'm passing it through once or twice so it doesn't go all the way through. I probably need to pass it through again on this one. And on this one. And one more. Okay, I have 4 pieces now that I can bend, almost can bend, except the second piece. Let me try again. want it to be able to bend like that so you can form it into shape. And then this last piece that I cut, I'm going to cut it all the way through, turn it over. And so this would be at, let me make sure. This is 3/4, 1.5, so this should be at 3 inches if I add up all the 3/4. And that goes all the way through. Put my cutter away. And now I have something that looks like this. So I'm going to form it into shape, the shape of my pen, and I want it to form as close to a square as I can get. And what that means is kind of finagling it. That's a little bit of a rectangle, but that's okay, that'll work. I want to push these together. So you kind of have to manipulate it a little bit. You know that this one panel wants to sit on top of the other. Now, I'm going to glue this. This is my big gun here. And I use art glitter glue, but you certainly could use, you want to use a strong glue here. Now, I have this glued. It's obviously is not dry. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be using a little bit of book tape on it. And this is to reinforce it. And I'm going to put the piece of book tape over it. And book tape is extremely strong. I get my book tape off of Amazon. And this just made it a little easier and a lot stronger. First time I made it, I didn't use this. And I actually think this is good. Let me take my bone folder. Now, I could take tape there too, but I don't think I'm going to need it because once I get everything on top of this, it'll be nice and strong. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do, first, the length, I didn't tell you this, the length I made it has to be big enough to cover the pen with a little bit facing out. So I actually made it a little bit longer. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to measure the number of letters it takes to fill this. So let's say we left a little bit of space. It's 3, I wanted to do like 6 letters. 4, 5, 6, which is good. Okay, so that's a good size. Okay. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a square that fits here and here. And I'm also using this thick chipboard. I'm going to try to just cut it by hand. And it's a little too wide. That's better. And I'm going to score it at about 3/4 of an inch, a little over. Just so it's like that. And I'm going to cut this off. What I want is I want a double piece that's going to fit on the end. I'm going to open this up because it's not going in place like it should. There we go. Anyway, this is going to go here for the end. But what I need to do for this end, well, before I do that, I'm going to cut another one exactly like it. To go on the other end. Straighten this one out a little bit. Sorry for my dog, guys. All the time. It gets so frustrating. He honestly does. He waits until I'm in the middle of something. Because he wants my attention. Okay. So let's move this out of the way. Let me and I'm going to glue this together. Just like that. And on top of this, I want to cover the end with some paper. So, let's cover this. And this. Just like that. Cut it off. And then on the other one, we're just going to fold it and glue it. Just like that. We'll let that one dry. Now this one, which is going to be at the top, oops, is going to have the pen coming out of it. So I need to make some holes in this. I'm going to use my Crocodile, and I'm going to cut some holes in here, punch some holes. And because the pen is wider than this hole, what I'm going to do is just punch it a couple of times, widening the hole so that the pen fits in. And I'm going to push it. You want to push it out pretty far down the barrel, because when you put this in, if it's too low, you're not going to be able to write with it. It'll be impeded by the corners. So you have to kind of play with it and push it up. I'm going to ink this. And I'm also going to ink the sides and the bottom of this. And I'm using scorched timber. I really want to get rid of the inside, because these are going to show a little bit. So you want to make sure that they're covered. And this one as well. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to poke the pen through, push it pretty far down, sit it on the end. I want to check it to make sure, it's kind of awkward, make sure I'm able to write with it, and I will be able to. And I'm going to glue this. I'm going to put glue around the top here and around the bottom. And you don't want to take a heat gun to this because it's plastic. This whole thing is plastic. So you want to be careful with that. Ask me, because I already did that. And now I'm going to put glue around here. and here. Press that down, make sure it's lined up. I just squeeze it. Because my barrel was a little wonky, which is okay. And I'm going to let that dry. And I'm going to put on the bottom. And it's going to go just like this. Straighten this up. And we'll let that be for a minute. And I'm going to start playing with some letters. So I know I need 24 letters, and I want to decide, you know, on this one when I made it, I decided I was going to spell out I love you, seek, and then I had odd letters at the top and bottom, founds, and dreams. Now, I don't believe I have enough letters left to really make any words, at least not 4 of them, but let's see. Let's see. I think I'm going to do random letters this time. So I need 6 for each side. I like to put letters that kind of look good together. You know, I think I have, and I need one more. Let's do I. So that's 1. And maybe I'll put my initials in here, which is C, and an M, O, okay, and how about we put yes? Well, maybe we can hide love in here. Maybe a U. And one more. Let's do, how about lost? I don't know that I have another L. We'll see. I'll use this one. Ouch. Two, 4, 6. Okay. Next thing I need to do is I also need to ink these. And I'm going to ink these with some color like I did here. And I'm using my Tim Holtz inks. And I'm really, ow, my hand is really hurting today. And I'm just doing a random colors. Yeah, I'm going to make the purple a little darker. Green. I love this. This is crushed olives. And I have another purple. And let's do a light blue. I don't know that I like that. Let me try another green. This is called Mowed Lawn. Yeah. Made it kind of a green blue. I like it. Okay. Now we have some color on them. And I'm going to take off a little bit of the purple. Maybe I won't. Okay, now let's ink these up in the edge. Okay. Now is the easy part. Now we glue these in place. So and don't worry, up here, I'm going to add more glue and I'm going to clamp it. Oh, I think I have to put that down a little farther. Okay. Now what I want to do is I want to coat it in Mod Podge. Use my arm. Oh my goodness, I always do that. Okay, well. Okay. Let me try to clean this up a bit. And I'm going to dry it and I'll be right back. Okay, guys. Now I'm just going to add a little bit of sanding to this. It's already pretty grungy, so I don't need to add much. And I added a letter to the bottom as well. Okay, so let's see how it writes. And I'll say thank you for watching. Please. How do you do a thumbs up? I have a thumb. Please like and subscribe. I love it. Still has to dry a bit, but quite easy to make. On this one I added diamond gloss. I wouldn't add that again. This one I made a little longer and put the pen out a little farther. Well, you all have a great one, and thanks for stopping by. Have a great weekend. Bye.